Conway. If these walls could talk, wait, in Conway, they do. The mural overlooking Simon Park, that's Aurora Rising from a Conway rooted in education, agriculture, and industry. 1 block down, the pride of Conway, a wall guaranteeing the energy of Toadsuck is evident year-round. 1 block over, a wall with a sense of humor, a tribute to Conway's achievements, including roundabouts. And down Front Street, a peacock, representing Conway's nobility of spirit. It's...
No.
Oh, well, then Conway's pride in its superiority?
No, that's not it either.
Okay, I give. What is it?
Well, the peacock says that Conway is a vibrant and colorful, fun community.
Well, she ought to know. She's Jessica Jones, the artist. She's a muralist, discovering her talent in Arkansas just about 8 years ago when she moved here.
Each mural, each wall is a new learning experience.
The peacock told her murals were in her future. Owner of the Patio Cafe across the street, Debbie Andrews, can vouch for that.
We have people that come in here and eat, and then they'll get their families and they'll go across the street and stand in front of the mural and have their pictures made.
Just when her talent was being discovered, in the middle of a project 2 years ago, her husband, Monty, died, victim of undiscovered heart arrhythmia issues. Jessica was widowed at 29 with 2 small children. She told me she dropped everything and quit work. Despair and loneliness set in. But then
I thought, well, you know, what am I going to do? Like, I can't just sit in my sadness. Like, I need something to do. I can't live like this.
The murals rescued her.
I want to set an example for my kids of doing something that I'm passionate about.
Almost giddy at her growing reputation, she's now been hired to bring another wall in downtown Conway to life.
This is it. So this will be the canvas for my next mural.
But it's
Conway.
brick.
Yeah, so...
You don't have a smooth wall.
No, it won't be a smooth surface, which, like I said, every wall presents its own challenges.
She doesn't see challenges with walls like these.
I see lots of opportunity, and not just this wall, but every wall.
Towns with murals tend to do that, make you think anything is possible. It is impossible to stand in downtown Searcy and not see a symptom of muralitis, and not just on big visible buildings, even out-of-the-way places like this ordinary alley, made extraordinary by people infected with a desire to paint the town. Many people say this is where it all started. Harding art instructor Daniel Adams and his students wanted to help Searcy get the big picture. Not 100% sure they started it, but we know who's spreading it. This is an everyday commute for Jason White. We caught him in the act of spreading mural fever. He had only 3 days to finish this one, but he took time out to show us how he has infected this community.
I finished this one about 2.5 weeks ago, and it's organically, it's reached over 5,000 people. This one represents the history of Searcy, from our founding to our present and our future, honestly.
A hunter looking for bear discovers Sulphur Springs, Searcy's original name. The ox, representative of Searcy's agriculture, depicting Searcy's 3 main crops.
Strawberry, soybeans, and cotton.
That's an iron horse, symbolizing trains and the growing industry. And the elephant?
The elephant just kind of represents our our productivity, our growth.
As for Jason's history, it's remarkable he's doing all that he is.
I've just always had a fear of really pursuing it, and so I've let that fear really stop me all my life. Anytime I would start to get some momentum, I'd back away from it.
But 4 years ago, he painted bank windows, and that gave way to murals. And the boy too scared to fully commit to art is a man in demand.
3 to 5 months backed up right now.
And this is the mural he's working on now.
All the way down.
Watching him, you'd never know he'd ever been intimidated. I asked Jason if he painted a mural based on his life, what would it depict?
It'd probably be something going from darkness to light, I guess. You know, that the fear overshadows things so much, you know, and to be able to overcome something like that, I would want to paint something that just really told that story and encouraged everybody that they could do the same thing regardless of what it is.
The mural of his story is the moral of this one. Oh, and P.S. He finished his mural on time. It's magical, enchanting, whimsical, and joyful. A mural celebrating Garvin Woodland Gardens on a building opposite Bathhouse Row. The name of the artist, there in the corner, even adds more to the mystery. Pepe Gacca, a visiting artist from Italy. This mural of 2018, totally different from the one he produced in 2017 right down the street. Twin Native Americans, the first visitors to Hot Springs, so real the authenticity leaps off the wall. A local artist and full-time barber watched him paint this, a man who this year would become a collaborator, Anthony Tidwell.
We from two totally different worlds, but the art, man, is that language is uniform.
Anthony has achieved local notoriety for this studio in inner-city Hot Springs that he opens to kids in the summer. His work earned him a Governor's Art Award. Back in Italy, Pepe had a similar program with an orphanage.
The same things that pushes him is the same things that pushes me.
And the Hot Springs Cultural Alliance put them together to produce a mural honoring African Americans in Hot Springs. Ideas then flowed a half a world away.
He's in Italy. He'll send me a message 3 o'clock in the morning. I send him a message back 3 o'clock in the morning on his time.
Pepe returned to Hot Springs in the spring, and in May, this is what they produced: a tribute to Black Broadway, Malvern Avenue, near an area where Count Basie and Duke Ellington once played.
Bud Kennedy, he has a Charlie hat on the end.
And the figures you see are actual people living in Hot Springs, the musicians, members of Hot Springs' world-class high school band.
30, 40 years from now, they can come back and show their kids or their grandkids.
Anthony, at Pepe's insistence, added a surprise.
It was me, so I ended up painting myself.
That's Anthony, holding the paintbrushes. As he worked on the mural, something magical happened.
It started talking to me, and I know it sounds crazy, but man, it told me that I was an artist, and it told me to quit lying to myself, being somebody you're not. Go ahead and accept your calling and be the artist, the true artist that you are.
Anthony went and told his boss he was going to become a full-time artist and he was going to quit the barbershop.
He didn't like what I had to say. He was kind of upset because he's losing a barber.
Now, to keep the peace, Anthony put his boss on the mural in the parade. That you'll notice leads to a brighter future. But it also celebrates Hot Springs' past, Black Broadway, a place that matters, an exuberant celebration of Hot Springs culture, courtesy of Pepe and Anthony. No racial divide here. How could there be with art?
I think visual art, murals on a wall, it brings back the humanity in us.
Fort Smith, it's not a city, it's a gallery, an aging downtown resurrected by murals.
Everyone is different, so it's really exciting to see how each mural plays out from beginning to end.
Claire Kohlberg is our tour guide.
And this portrait is based off of the very first photographs of Native American.
And notice, it's not painted. This wall was plastered, and the artist's team chiseled lines in the plaster to produce the portrait.
Okay, who's the artist?
Just around the corner, a wordplay visual mural from a London-based artist. Can you tell what it says? Side by side. Get it? Okay, one block down.
It does. It's called The Divine Wrapped in Fort Smith. It's the artist's version of a still life.
Two artists from Argentina came and painted it. They'd never worked together and jumped at the chance to come to Fort Smith.
Now, this would be a testimony to this one, to industry versus art? Or
If that's what you see, then yeah.
Around the corner, this one not so hard to figure out, the otter, painstakingly painted by an artist from Belgium. Each hair on the otter done by spray paint. One block down from the otter.
You're gonna like this one.
oh my God.
This is one of our most.
Well, I'm already hit by the color.
Yeah. This is a Brazilian duo. They were so friendly and lovely. They stopped and talked to everyone. This is really one of those that you can come and look at and see something new every time.
What is going on in Fort Smith? A mural festival that began 6 years ago called The Unexpected. There is a bit of irony in that name because
Well, here in Fort Smith, it was very intentional.
Steve Clark helped get it started with financial muscle from donors and his corporation, Propac Incorporated.
So we called it The Unexpected because we wanted to give people this unexpected surprise that when they come to Fort Smith, they would be shocked and amazed by the quality and the caliber of the public art that we have.
Ana Maria of Puerto Rico painted this one. She's the first female artist invited to the unexpected and possibly the most popular artist.
People will bring lawn chairs and just sit their lawn chairs up in the parking lot or on the sidewalk and watch for hours.
Ana Maria loved it so much, she moved to Fort Smith for 2 years teaching art.
What's been the biggest surprise since y'all started 6 years ago?
For me, it's just been the eagerness of people letting us use their space.
Witness the OK Feed Mill silos about 5 blocks away. 3 figures drawn to scale, 8 stories high, on silos, drawn by Australian Guido van Helten.
If you can imagine a man on a boom lift in between the 2 towers with trucks running in and out of the granary 24 hours, 7 days a week.
These are real people in Fort Smith, Native American, African American, elderly American. Mr. Jean, who worked for decades at the feed mill and watched his portrait painted on the silo where he'd spent his entire career. All 3 figures dominate downtown, serving as symbols of Fort Smith's creative energy.
This isn't something we've started. This is a legacy that we've continued.
Well, we couldn't continue. 2 hours downtown and we hadn't seen half of them, but we had to get home. When you know it, on the way to the car, another mural. Totally unexpected.
Is this the first one?
Greetings from Batesville. It was the first one that the students worked on themselves.
On the back wall of a Batesville pocket park downtown, a picture postcard rendition of Batesville, painted entirely by students taking a course in murals from art professor Dustin Bork.
Yeah, so I started the program a year ago.
A class that inspired Morgan Henson.
It's one of my favorites because, I'm from Batesville, so this is an honor to be able to work on this.
The community responded. They immediately looked to the students for help with this iconic but deteriorating Coca-Cola mural just off Main Street.
Ever since I can remember, it's just been super old. And
now look.
It's not just that our students and that myself as a professor values the murals and the experience, which is very rewarding, but the community also.
So this.
Morgan was bitten by the mural bug and did this one all by herself. Local business leaders are responding. It's a miracle.
This building.
A lawyer buys a building and requests a mural painted by Grace Ingalls, a student of Professor Bork's at the University of Toledo.
I invited her to come here and work with a student. She lives in Asheville, North Carolina now.
Easily the most talked about mural in Batesville. So many interpretations, but in the end, a depiction of authenticity.
By Xing out those eyes to shut yourself off to those negative external influences.
And next to it, a sunnier figure painted by Professor Bork.
Was to have that optimism. A new day is coming.
For art students in mural class, that day may have already arrived, and there's this.
You realize that you're adding something that's bigger than yourself.
In a community that's obviously saying to young artists,
you have a huge canvas. Make it art.
His name is Yuri Council, but he goes by the name of Mantra. For the last 2 weeks, he's been painting butterflies on the east side of the Ottenheimer building in the River Market. Public art has been his passion for almost a decade.
I never really counted how many murals I painted in my career, but fortunately, after more than 10 years painting wall-ride, I'm still here and able to paint far from home.
You probably noticed Mantra is from France, as is Charlotte Dutoit, founder and curator of Just Kids, the organization that helped make Mantra and the butterflies happen.
We have done already 3 projects with him in Las Vegas, in Fort Smith, and now in Little Rock.
Bentonville's O's Art, along with the unexpected out of Fort Smith, are also a part of an effort to get 12 murals installed in 9 Arkansas communities, all by world-renowned artists.
Yeah, it's really great experience, and these are good projects to activate communities.
Mantra hopes his butterflies activate our community like they did his imagination when a boy back in France, enthralled by what he saw in the family garden.
All the time spent there, I just fell in love and really being curious about all the small lives, and between fauna, flora, all the flowers, the insects, the birds we can just finally appreciate in the garden.
And now those small lives made big in Little Rock represent more than his childhood.
Butterflies are something really unpredictable and unexpected. Sometimes they just appear as a wishing star and they just disappear in the next second.
Mantra's life will always shadow this mural, representing a calling that has become a bridge.
As a teenager, I really wanted to find my place in this global society and be able, far from borders, far from languages, to be part of humanity. So I finally had a good answer, as painting can connect me with people and connect me with cultures.
And in turn, produce butterflies that we can all enjoy together. Looks like a rundown part of town, doesn't it?
Well, it's a part of the city that is neglected. It's overlooked. It's gray. It's concrete. It's dirty. It was dirty.
But for the artist known as Chimix, what most see as urban blight, he saw as a canvas, beginning with Peace Week 2016.
So we came out here and painted. After that, I had no idea what impact it was going to have. I had some idea of the power of murals and public art, but I've never seen it happen firsthand how it did this time.
When Chimix says this time, he means this past summer. The protests over the loss of George Floyd.
We were mad. We didn't know what to think. We didn't know what to do.
And so they painted, and they painted, and they painted. Expressions of anger, of hope. The echo of all men are created equal. And for Chimix, the portrait of George Floyd, which proved to be a catalyst.
And then after that, it snowballed, and the city came behind us and carried us, and it was beautiful. Like, it's overwhelming emotions that came to me. So,
but not all emotions were positive. Several paintings were vandalized.
We're not here to point fingers at who it was, or to punish, or try to punish somebody that's doing this.
Instead, the artists came back. They would paint again and witness an outpouring of support from strangers wanting to help.
From bringing us water, food, materials, donations to buy more materials. It's all been a grassroots thing. We love our city. We don't want to destroy it. We want good things to happen to it.
And with Chimix as spokesman, this is what all these artists hope to have happen.
First thing is to spark conversation, spark dialogue. If we can't have dialogue, whether you agree with it, whether you love it, whether you hate it, I don't care. You're going to see this, you're going to think one way or the other, and that gets the wheels turning, and that's the least we can expect.
On 7th Street, where the wheels always seem to be turning, at the place where you and the city can have a heart-to-heart talk.